fans, to your Speeding Bulletin for the week December 14th to December 20th, 2012. A relatively quiet week which saw an interview with Harry Lennox talking about Man of Steel, a DC Nation announcement, and an update to the Ask Matt fan forum. Let's take a look. In movie news, comicscontinuum.com grabbed a video chat with actor Harry Lennox to ask him about his time working on Man of Steel. Lennox, who plays the role of General Swanwick in the movie, talks about what it was like working with Zack Snyder as director and how excited he is about this movie.
I'm excited about seeing it. I think it's a terrific story, and I think it's got a first-rate cast, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this reboot. Zack Snyder's done a fantastic job, and I'm as eager to see it as anybody else. So, yeah.
You can check out the interview in full at comicscontinuum.com. Michael Bailey and I dissected the Man of Steel trailer scene by scene in this week's edition of Radio KAL Live. If you missed it, you can check it out at supermanhomepage.com/live. Warner Home Video sent out the official press release about the upcoming all-new DC Universe animated original movie, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, coming January 29th, 2013. In the movie, Mark Valley voices the role of Superman, who goes up against Batman in the animated film based on Frank Miller's original graphic novel. You can pre-order The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 on Blu-ray and DVD from our online store. In TV news, Cartoon Network officially announced that DC Nation, including new episodes of Young Justice, will return to US TV screens on January 5th. The new episode of Young Justice Invasion, scheduled to air on Saturday, January 5th, is titled Before the Dawn. In this episode, the team uncover shocking secrets while on a covert mission to rescue some of its own and devastating truths. DC Comics are gearing up for 2013 by giving Superman fans from now until New Year's Eve to buy some great Superman comic books for just 99 cents each. The sale is now on at DC Comics' digital store at readdcentertainment.com. The Superman homepage Ask Matt fan forum has been updated once again. Matt Idelson, the editor of the Superman comics, has answered a batch of questions put to him by fans about the Superman comic books. Come to the site now to see what he had to say. Superman comic books we reviewed this week included Superboy number 15, which was reviewed by Adam DeChannel, who said the monologues grew tiresome this issue and were a terrible plot device, and he rated it a 3 out of 5. And Mark Pritchard reviewed Smallville Season 11, Chapter 25, giving it a 3 out of 5, saying this issue was all over the place. Superman comics available this week from December 19th include Supergirl number 15, Young Justice number 23, and Smallville Season 11, Chapter 26 digital comic is available December 21st.
Bring in 2013, the year of the Man of Steel, with Superman-themed party supplies, like these Superman blowouts for just $4.99 for a pack of 8. Or how about this cool Superman silicone tray that makes S-shaped ice cubes for just $8.57? These and other great Superman party supplies are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop.
In other news, DC Collectibles has revealed that they'll be releasing a line of Man of Steel statues and action figures in conjunction with the film's release in 2013. They also clear up any confusion there might be regarding the differences between the Justice League 7-pack action figures compared to the individual releases. For the Superman action figure, it's a different head sculpt. You can buy both via the Superman homepage online store. Andrew List's completed low-budget superhero fan film Superman the Golden Child has been posted online. Made on a budget of $850, Superman the Golden Child stars Joshua Boltinghouse as Superman. You can check it out at supermangc.com. Episode 96 of Radio KAL, the monthly podcast of the Superman homepage, is now available to listen to. In this month's show, Scotty and I discuss the Man of Steel trailer at length. We look at the Man of Steel handcuff poster, Man of Steel worldwide release dates, Superboy Season 2 DVD, DC Nation news, and all the latest comic books and much more. Check it out at supermanhomepage.com/radio. Be sure to place your vote in our latest poll, which asks, how would you rate the Man of Steel trailer? You can vote now at supermanhomepage.com. That's all the Superman news there was for the week December 14th to December 20th. As this is our final Speeding Bulletin for 2012, I wanted to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays and a Super New Year. Next year is going to be a big year for Superman fans, so stick with the Superman homepage throughout 2013. See you then.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So, on Tuesday, December 11th, we Superman fans and the rest of the world were given a beautiful surprise, an early Christmas present. The Superman Man of Steel trailer was released early. Now, I'm a little dubious as to why they would do such a thing when they know that The Hobbit is just a few days away. However, at the same time, I am elated to have seen the trailer. There was a countdown associated with a Look to the Heavens space project that was released on a website that people speculated had having something to do with Man of Steel because it said Warner Brothers at the bottom of the screen. So this website had some symbols that people had to decode. They kind of looked like Kryptonian numbers, but of course, many of the geeks out there, the experts, have said those aren't Kryptonian symbols. We've seen Kryptonian language before, and it doesn't look like that. However, apparently this is the new Kryptonian symbol, or those people were wrong. The numbers counted down. Once people decoded them, there was a countdown page, and they were counting down over 14 hours or so. And when they reached the end, any of those pages that you had open, be it the decoding page or be it the countdown page, the new trailer that will assumedly play with The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, which opens on Friday, will started to play the trailer, these websites. And so we all got to see the trailer a little bit early. People are talking about it all over the internet. People are making a big deal about how great it looks or about how annoyed they are at certain things, as fandom will often do. What I personally hope is that the general viewing public, which was what the original teaser released not too long ago was for, back with the, was it the Harry Potter movie? Who the hell knows? Who cares? When that teaser was released, again, fandom was up in arms about how boring it was, how it looked like unexpected catch or dangerous catch or deadliest fish, whatever that was. They made a big deal about how it didn't really do anything to excite people about Superman, and my contention then was, especially since they announced it, as an announcement piece, a piece that was to let the general viewing audiences know that there was a movie coming. I still talk to people today that say, there's a new Superman movie coming out. I don't know if they're just trying to bother me because they know I wear Superman stuff all the time. I'm the guy at anything I go to where they go, hey, Scotty V, Superman! Which is great. I like being called Superman, even though I look nothing like him and inhabit none of his traits. But it's nice to know when I go there. So they could be teasing me, knowing that that's all I talk about, and knowing that I've mentioned it many times. And they, there's a new Superman movie coming? Oh, you really? Tell me about that. But the general viewing public may not know that, and may not have known that before the initial teaser trailer was released. And that was what it was for, to let people know, and also to get those people interested in what might be very emotional and deep on screen before they showed Superman flying at the end. And they go, oh, wow, this is a Superman movie. Kind of looks like a serious drama or something I might want to see. And I don't normally see comic book movies, but this doesn't look like that. So now this new piece that was released on Tuesday, that will assumedly come out with the Hobbit, for people who haven't seen it, was a little bit elongated. There was a little more to it. There was a little more excitement there. But still, personally, on a personal level, I was a little bit surprised that it was still pretty low-key and pretty, the word a lot of people are using is moody, because you got that whole Nolan thing that people are talking about, and that's what people are associating this with. I didn't necessarily get a Nolan connection, and for me that's kind of good, because as I've made clear on numerous occasions, I wasn't a huge fan of the Nolan franchise. It was serious, it was moody, it was dark, it was somewhat realistic in tone, but I didn't find a connection to any of the characters. I didn't really find any true emotion, and I didn't really find a whole lot of story there. There was a lot of destruction, a lot of mayhem, a lot of explosions, and we certainly see that in this trailer. There is a lot of mayhem, there is a lot of destruction, there seem to be a lot of explosions. But on the flip side of that, we also see a bit of character right in the trailer, a bit of emotion. The idea that in this world, in the world that we're in a world that fears terrorism, in a world that mistrusts its own governments in many countries across the world, we see a world that is clearly not necessarily trusting of anybody that comes in and says that they're here to do the public welfare. They're here to help people. They're here to be altruistic and to do things that will help the common man as well as everybody else. And that, of course, is what Superman stands for. You know, protector of the oppressed, a savior of the weak, and protector of everyone, really, a bringer of justice and truth. And so, what we see in the trailer, of course, and what we saw in the poster that was released a few days earlier, was that on the 4th of December, that was connected to the Dark Knight Rises release DVD. If you shared some social media, you would supposedly unlock this thing that gave us this poster. And people were yelling about that too. Oh, we didn't get enough. I wanted something more than that. WB, get on it. We're 6 months away from the release of Man of Steel, and we have seen an awful lot of things so far. More than most movies that are released 6 months from the point that we're already seeing the theatrical trailer, and it hasn't even come out in the theaters yet. So we've gotten a lot more than a lot of movies get at any particular time, and people still complain, but that's what people are going to do. Now, this particular trailer, I thought was, when I first watched it, I was a little bit not sure if I was excited. I was kind of like, wow. I don't know what I expected, but for some reason I felt let down. Having watched it numerous times since then, I find it fantastic. I mean, it looks, visually, it's clearly going to be a stunning film. It looks fantastic. The colors are beautiful. It has a slightly muted tone, I guess, to show that the realistic thing that the Nolan verse has supposedly gone for. I mean, I personally hope it's set in a completely different universe and doesn't feel like those movies, though I do like the realism aspect. So, and then you definitely get that feel in this trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, you definitely should watch it. I mean, it's very, it finally started to bring tears to my eyes upon the 4th or 5th viewing, and that was because I had finally gotten to a point where I accepted what it was, and I don't even know what I wanted or what I was looking for, but I knew that when I watched it, it wasn't it, or whatever. I don't know if there was build-up based on everyone complaining about the original. Maybe I expected something grander. I don't know, but it is very grand, actually, when you watch it. As I said, there's a lot going on. You see what appears to be Krypton exploding, Lara watching it in the background. The scene with Jor-El and Lara holding the baby is just, it's fantastic. And one thing that's got the internet buzzing is that at one point we're seeing what appears to be a flashback of a young Clark saying to his father, what was I supposed to just let them die? Because the idea is that he's exposing himself to the public and that people are going to be very mistrustful of this. And Pa Kent says, after a bit of hesitation, maybe. Now that could be taken out of context. He could be saying, well, maybe you should be more careful, or maybe, I don't know, of course not, but you can't expose yourself like that, or you need to be quicker, or you need to hide yourself. Maybe there's going to be something, and maybe that's eventually what spurs him into wearing a costume or assuming an alternate identity. These are things that we're not sure of when we see a trailer, and snippets are out of order or not necessarily placed. It also could be that he is saying maybe, and that eventually he doesn't really mean that, but he's worried about protecting his son. And a father should be protecting his son, and he probably does, especially in this world of mistrust and terrorism and governments that are out of control in some cases. People don't know what to say and don't know how people should act and not sure who they can trust. And that kind of represents the world that we're living in. In the 70s when the Donner films were released, it was all jive turkey and, I'm a disco man and look at my green and yellow suit. I'm a bad guy and I'm bald, but I wear wigs. And everything was kind of goofy and silly and it was fun and everybody trusted everything and it was peace and whatever. Even though, there was Vietnam and other things going on, people didn't seem to have the issues that we have today. And I guess that's what a lot of films are trying to represent. A lot of fandom complains. These are comic book films. They're supposed to be fantasy. It's supposed to be fun. I don't need to see doom and moodiness and darkness in my films. And I think the good news is, what we can see with this trailer, is that Superman still stands out as the symbol of hope, the symbol of inspiration. You see him in dark periods. You see him in fire. You see fire all over him, but he's there, and he's rescuing people, and he's standing up for what he has always stood up for, and he's doing what is right. You know, he meets Zod in battle. At least it looks like Zod in the sky, and there's explosions and there's things going on, and he's protecting people and he's doing what he's always done in the face of all that darkness. And to me, that actually makes Superman a bolder, grander symbol for the light and the symbol for the hero that he is, and a symbol for inspiration and hope, because even against all of that, this is a guy who, like many humans, doesn't succumb, keeps going to work every day, keeps doing what needs to be done, keeps helping out. And I think that that's what inspires all of us to keep doing what we do, and to keep living in that, if we're in that fictional world, the idea that there's a guy out there facing all these demons and all this darkness for us and helping us out. And he's doing it because we inspire him, and we inspire him to do what he does, being what we are, with all the weaknesses and frailties that we have. We go on with our lives, and he's got all these powers, so at the very least, he can go on and do what he does. And I think that if you watch this trailer, you see a lot of that going on, even though it does seem a little bit on the darker shade in terms of what it looks like and in terms of what he's facing. You know, in the 70s, everybody accepted him. He was this great hero. People cheered for him. And I think we will see that. At least I have hope that we will see that as the franchise goes on, maybe even toward the middle or the end of this film. People will you know, a lot of times in the comics, you see a hero getting beaten, you see people, you know, you think about Rocky, you know, he's in Russia, and he's getting beaten on, but he keeps coming back, and he keeps hitting the Russian, and he keeps, you know, and suddenly the audience, the crowd, starts to turn for the underdog, starts to turn for the guy they didn't like at the beginning, and starts cheering Rocky's name. I don't know if that would happen, but this is the kind of thing we can see. You know, people are not sure what to trust, people are not sure, you know, because we're in a mistrustful world, we're in a darker world, we're in serious times, things have happened, people are suffering. And they're not sure, you know, is this another person who's come forward and said he's for us, but then we're going to see that he's taking advantage of us, or he does something bad for us later on. But then maybe we see, you know, as he keeps proving himself, and as he keeps showing that even in the face of mistrust, and even when he's not being appreciated for what he's doing, that he keeps doing it. And you go, wait a minute, you know, maybe this guy really is our hero. Maybe he really is somebody that we can be on the side of. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of that, and I think that is what we will see. So don't worry. And don't worry about Jonathan's thing either. I think that that's a little out of context, and I think he obviously doesn't mean maybe as if, yeah, that's a choice. But you got to make that choice, Clark. And he says that later on. You hear it in the film. Whatever man you're going to be, you're going to change the world. And he will, and he knows that he will, and he knows that he has the power to do that. And I think that he's just, you know, he's teaching him, and he's molding him, and he gets, you know, he probably is going to get to the point where he says, you know, maybe that's an option, but on the other hand, you could be more careful about it. We'll see what happens. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky.